Good day, dear friends. Good day, and welcome, welcome, one and all, to this, the Friday evening version of this thing of ours. I'm your host, Aldi Regatas, Hedrick Whitboy in the Hottentots, and I'm so glad to be with you on a very cold and damp and dank Friday eve. It's beautiful. It's glorious. Let me remind you, dear friends, as I always do, before I begin with the proem, the précis, the prolegomenon, the preface, let me remind you, dear friends, that it is 179 days until the election. 179 days. And if they can keep you focused on anything else, Stormy Daniels, Dusty Saddles, Rudy Barron, kids spray painting pictures, EMPs, Tom Brady, bird flus. If they can keep you busy and away from focus, they will win. We are not going to allow that to happen. We can handle many plates. We can do it simultaneously. We can do it. It was fun to talk about Stinky Daniels for a while. That was fun. But it's over. It's forgotten. She's now in the ash heap of society, of history. It's done. It's finished. But tonight we're going to talk about a lot of things that are so interesting to me, but in a way that is different. Why? Because I provide it differently too. Because I do. Because I'm one of a kind, sui generis, my friend. I'm telling you, you know what's true. You know what's true. Ooh. I think Messrs. Millie and Vanilli said it best. Remember when that was actually a big deal? Now everybody is lip syncing. You know that, right? You do know that, right? You do know that. And where are a lot of these raps? Let me tell you something one day. Before we begin, in no particular order, you're going to find out the number of people who are involved in trafficking, drug abuse. The organized crime has infiltrated so much of the entertainment business like you wouldn't believe. And we're going to find out who's who. People are going to be saying, how do these people make all this money? Aha! Very good. How does Netflix make money? How do they make all this money? How much are you paying a month? Okay, fine. We'll talk about that later. But before we begin, my dear friends, let me remind you, please remind you, dear friends, to make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you are subscribed and make sure you are lined up and ready to go. Make sure you like this video. And we're talking about bird flu, EMPs, coronal mass ejections, Carrington class disasters. They are telling you to get ready. They are telling you, I have been telling you, listen to them. You think this is a joke? The shadow government loves to tell you exactly what they're going to do. It's like a Columbo episode. For those of you who don't remember, Columbo was a great show, Peter Falk, who they would tell you who the bad guy was, and then you'd have to figure out how Columbo is going to figure it out. That's what these people do. They tell you, this is what we do. This is what we do. And that's precisely what they're doing and precisely what is happening. And that's why you'd better listen to our good friends from preparedwithlionel.com regarding food storage, food emergency food, food insecurity, and how to ward off starvation. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to wax eschatological, but the end is nigh. And I don't mean Louis nigh. Listen. It's no longer a question of if something catastrophic is coming, it's when. And while you still have control, still have time, what are you going to do about it now to prepare? Your first step is going to my website at preparedwithlionel.com. Preparedwithlionel.com. Your next step is stocking up on multiple 4-week emergency food kits from My Patriot Supply. And for a limited time, take $50 off a 4-week emergency food supply. My Patriot Supply is equipped to help you prepare. They've helped over 2 million families already. These 4-week kits with ready hour foods provide over 2,000 calories every day, 16 varieties, 25 years shelf life, breakfast, lunches, dinners, snacks, drinks, and they're sealed inside 2 31-pound rugged waterproof buckets, and they last up to 25 years in storage. Take advantage right now, my friend, and go to preparedwithlionel.com. That's preparedwithlionel.com. Now, today, my friends, I love being with you. And I want to say that to you. I love with you. I love with you. What does that mean? I love with you? I have no idea what that means. I love being with you. I mean that. And I love doing this. I look so forward. I get so excited right before I go on. I get excited. I feel a sense of excitatory horripilation. I horripilate. I become rubescent. Rubescent. Capillaries burst over the notion of being with you. Of being able to say, hey, did you see this? Here's what I think. Here's my take. If I said to you, hey, what's this? You would say, I don't know, but this is a calculator. But this, I don't know. It's the back of the calculator. See, that's the way things work. It's not, hey, what are Democrats? This side of the side. This is Republican. It's the other side. Oh, I didn't know that. Yes. That's what it is. It's looking at it differently. I want to talk to you about things in no particular order. First, I don't know where anybody came up with the idea that they were going to make Barron Trump a delegate. What was that about? I don't know what the young man. He's very tall. He's very tall. The entire family is tall. The family, the whole group. Eric is huge. And Barron, okay, fine. So what? Now that we got that out of the way, why would anybody in their right mind? He's never said a word. I don't know if there's anything, quote, wrong with him. He's a young man. Do him a favor. Leave him out of this. They will mock him. They will drive him crazy. He doesn't need this. For some particular reason, he has found it best not to say anything. Do you know anybody, even the three, the kids, Kate's kids, Louie, Doofy, and Wally, or whatever these kids' name are. They're cute. They talk, they scream, or whatever. Barron doesn't. That's his own thing. Leave him out of this. Leave him out of this. Stop. Don't even call his attention. Let him live his life. Seriously. I hate to involve kids in things like that. He's 18. He just graduated from high school. Let the kid. It's an awkward. Remember what they did to Chelsea Clinton? Oh, God. Remember that Rush Limbaugh said, hey, what's the name of the dog in the White House? Chelsea. Remember that? It was terrible. Don't make. Poor kid was, gangly and she had her braces. Leave her alone. She sure has an incredible. She looks, it's uncanny. She looks just like Webb Hubble. Isn't that something? Is it? I mean, anyway. So I just want to say that to you. Leave kids alone. Malia and Sasha, leave them alone. They have nothing to do with this. They didn't ask for this. It's tough enough to be a kid. And even now, because, I've heard all kinds of, they're kids. They do some stuff and whatever. Anyway, enough of that. I just see this picture of Barron. He always stands there. He always looks like he's saying, this is the stupidest thing. What am I doing here? I got a suit on. I got to stand here. Okay. Here I am. Hey, here comes the big guy. Here comes the big guy. Boy, he's big. Is that it? I'm tall. That's it. That's it. Years ago, I was great friends with Bobby Heenan, Bobby the Brain, and his wife, his daughter. Knew him. Lived in Tampa. Anyway, he said Andre the Giant hated being out because he was a freak. Now, granted, he's 7'4" and weighs 500 pounds and has a head like this and shoe peg. But the point is, when you're always talked about the way you look, boy, you're tall. Boy, you're tall. Boy. Anyway, enough of that. Next, the kid on Staten Island who spray painted a war memorial. We're gonna get him because he wrote Gaza. And he shaved his head, or not shaved his head, cut his head, his hair. And at first they say the father turned him in. And then later on, there's a standoff at their home in Tottenville on Staten Island, Richmond County. Who cares? He spray painted. Did you see the woman caught on CCTV? She's walking down the street. This guy comes behind her. He has like a lasso, a belt, a rope, something, a ligature, flips it over her neck, grabs it, basically passes her out, pulls her behind a car and rapes her. Get that guy and make him pay. It's time to get medieval. Soldering irons and number 9 axle grease. It's time. It's time. It's time to perhaps implement torture. Whenever, years ago, who was it? There was Alan Dershowitz. You know what's great about Alan Dershowitz? Alan Dershowitz, let me just live you it, is so profoundly full of shit. It's just not even funny. But he's got a gig that is, he has been doing this for so long, but he is profoundly full of shit. If you draw his blood, it's shit. He's septic. Absolutely. But he came up with this idea years ago. He said there should be a torture warrant, where if you had reason to believe that somebody had information that was of a ticking time bomb nature, a little girl was buried in a shadow grave, a little girl who had minutes ago or a short time ago before oxygen would be depleted, and you had to find out where, and you've got somebody, and you have reason to believe that he knows where she is, and you have to get that information out that you can go before a judge and then in emergency hearing, as you can imagine, have a torture warrant to get the information out. So long as it's not done as punishment. I'm saying no, as long as we can do it for punishment. You're not going to get anything out of it. He's going to tell you whatever he wants. Yeah, that's it. At the Home Depot on... Just stop doing this to me. Why is it that torture, they use thumb screws? You want to go back to the original Constitution? We use thumb screws. Yeah. The Iron Maiden. Oh, God. Might be time. But instead of us saying, we'll get to the spray paint later. Oh, no, it's an all points bulletin. Eric Adams, the mayor of New York, says, I even put up $5,000 myself. We got to get to the bottom of this. Oh, would you shut up? You don't give a goddamn about this city. You don't care about crime, about people raped. How about all of the Asian women that were being clobbered and clocked? All the white women who were walking down the street being beaten and clobbered by black folks. Part of an Instagram game. Hey, knock out the white lady. Nobody gave a rat's ass about that. But this kid, Because you want to show everybody, I care more about Israel than you do. No, you don't. Yes, I do. No, you don't. Here, I'm gonna, you know what? You can't even say Gaza. We're gonna pass a law that says anti-Semitism. Oh, well, you know, I'm gonna double that. I got a law that says you can't say Gaza. You can't say Gaza. You can't even say Ben Gazzara because it sounds like Gaza. How do you like that one? How do you like that one? It is sickening. It is sickening. And finally, Joe Biden doesn't grow a pair. Somebody tells him, because he's an animatronic, and they say, all right, that's enough with this. You tell Bibi and stuff, no, we're not going to give you 2,000-pound bombs so you can level Rafah. That's it. It's done. It's through. It's finished. Time's up. Oh, no. I can't believe now Hamas is going to run roughshod. What are you talking about? Have you seen Gaza? Have you seen it? I give up, but I got to tell you something. Bibi, you are, I don't know if it's you, but supreme. I have never, you own this country. Own it. Somebody said, was it, what's his name? Gilon Levy or from Haaretz? He said, Donald Trump, the only country where Donald Trump is loved exclusively is Israel. And the only country where Bibi Netanyahu is loved exclusively is the United States. They own this place hook, line, and sinker. They used to talk about, oh, the gun lobby. Gun lobby was nothing compared to this. You've got people, I mean, they want to put people on no-fly list because they said, well, I think maybe Hamas. All right, that's it. You're not going to fly. What? That's right. We're going to cancel your student loan and we're going to get the hell out of here. But if you clobber a white woman, punch her in the face, choke somebody with a lasso or a lariat, and do this repeatedly, nobody cares. Nobody cares. If you tear up and burn the whole place down during George Floyd, nobody gives a shit. What are you going to do? Like Don Lemon said, looks peaceful to me. Oh, yeah. But now if you spray paint Gaza, well, that's enough. Here, I'm going to give you 10,000. I'm going to give you 5,000. Rudy, I'm telling you, nobody owns this government like you do. Nobody. It is just left, right, unbelievable. Now, if you crank up the old YouTube and you see the rest of the world, holy. I am so freaking out, my friend. I used to think Mehdi Hassan used to absolutely, seriously, annoy the living crap out of me. It was an MSDNC saying, would you shut up? Okay. I heard him in a debate on this X squared on Zionism versus what? He's a genius. I'm thinking, oh my God. I'm agreeing with him now. Elon Pape, different story. Amy Goodman. I would rather in the old days drink bleach or ink or lick a belt sander than listen to Amy Goodman. Oh my God. This is democracy now. Oh, please. This is the worst show. Now she's brilliant. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't even know where this. I don't understand what is happening. Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, AOC, Nancy Pelosi, Jerry Nadler, Chuck Schumer, Barry. Not Bernie. I think Barry Sanders. No, he played the Detroit Lions. Bernie Sanders. They make 100%. 100%. Hang on to Johnny Maz. Do you think Rudy Giuliani pushed the envelope too far? He was fired from his radio show today. I'll get to that next, Johnny Maz. Thank you for that. I'm listening to people right now who are making so much sense. I don't even know. I don't know. I don't. And the people who are trying to, like John Stewart kind of wants to sort of, maybe sort of, you know. But meanwhile, the rest of the world says one thing, but not here in this country. No, 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 no. Not in this country. No, we're a different story here in this country. No, we're a different story. Now let's talk about Rudy Giuliani. Rudy Giuliani was fired from his show on WABC. WABC used to be the greatest radio station. Well, I'm an alumnus. It was where Rush was, and Ed Koch, and Curtis, Lisa, Lynn Samuels. It was just superb. The great John Manelli was the program director at the helm. Don Balukas, who was the kind of the gentleman. It was the greatest. And Bob Grant. Oh my God. We did numbers like you can't believe. And then it just went to shit. I mean, it was it was horrible. I'm not going to go through the routine. They got one jerk off after another who was in charge, and this was, I'm going to do it. I'm going to program it. Yeah, I've been on the FM side, and I never liked those AM people. I know this sounds crazy, but believe me when I tell you this. I'm going to put it. It was a disaster. Okay, fine. So now it's Geraldo on. I mean, it just whatever. Okay, fine. And then a fellow named John Katzimatidis came and he bought it. He's a billionaire. He owns Gristedes and D'Agostino's, and basically, it's a vanity piece for him. It's a show. It's a station where this is his. He can say, I grew up with WABC. I'm a New Yorker. I remember he puts on like Cousin Brucey. He has on people. I don't remember the last time I listened to it. So to be fair, it could be great, but it's got a lineup that's like, not interested. But God bless you. At least try to help AM radio. Rudy Giuliani came along, and I don't know if Rudy's a drunk, crazy, out of his mind, losing it. I don't know. It hurts me to see what has happened to him. And there was a time where people were saying he's boozing it. This guy was the greatest mayor anybody's ever seen. This guy was 100%. And now he owns $153 million. He's bankrupt. He's indicted twice. He figures, you know what? I'm almost 80 years old. Screw it. I'm going to swing for the fences on this one. So to be fair, Mr. Katzimatidis told Rudy, now listen, I don't want you talking about stealing the election. I think it's specifically about Dominion or Votomatic, whatever the hell it's called. I think it wasn't just about, hey, I think that, they stole the election. No, I think it was more about who was involved. Because with Dominion, and Katzimatidis is no idiot, he says to himself, listen, I don't need this. What do I need him? They're going to come after me. I'm a billionaire. I've got this red target on me. I don't need this shit. I don't need it. So he told Rudy, don't say anything about stealing the election. Okay? Don't say anything about it. Rudy gets a hair up his ass. Oh, no, you're not going to tell me what to do. I'm ready. Rudy, please. They send him a letter. Rudy, when you start getting the letters, you go, oh, the paper trail. Here we go. They're setting me up. Anybody else would know this. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Okay, fine. So what does he do? I think he said something to the effect of, or the text him, he says, I'm not going to do that. You're not going to tell me what to do. Okay, that's it. You're out of here. And Captain Matilda said he's smart. I do the same thing. Rudy, there's 9 million things to talk about. Talk about the EMP flare. Talk about you. Talk about crime. Talk about what you would do. Talk about the great days. Talk about the Yankees. Talk about anything you want. Talk about anything. Do not talk about this. And I told you there were some great, some of the best people. I mean, I think one of the best radio people ever, this guy, Don Balucas. He was phenomenal. And he told me one time, he says, by the way, I believe in the First Amendment. You want the First Amendment? Go in this corner. Go out there. But while you work here, you're not going to talk about certain things. That's it. And it never really came up. But the point is, don't you think that you can be here and you can just, no. And we all knew that. We're professionals. We're not going to do this. Listen. You want to tell the disc jockey in the old days, would you stop playing You Light Up My Life? Rudy, play another song. So I think Rudy pushed it. And I think he's gassed, or at least he was. I don't know if they still do this Havana. They go to this cigar club and drink and, all that stuff. Are they closed down? Yeah, well, they used to. So listen, it's sad. He might say to himself, whatever. The sad part is, who is very, very talented? His son, Andrew. Andrew's very smart, but Andrew's got that. Remember Andrew when Rudy was inaugurated? Andrew was a kid, and he was standing on the podium, and he was and Rudy let him. It was beautiful. Rudy said, you know what? You've heard this speech. You can come up there with me. And he was mocking him. And it will be done. And whatever the particular repetitious phrase it was. So anyway, I think Rudy's, it's over. Yeah, it's over. How about that Steve Bannon? Oh, Bannon's thinking 4 months. Is it 4 months? Make it 8. Owen Schroyer, he's now enshrined. He did hard time. This is the thing. Navarro, I mean, it's like, are you kidding me? Bannon, contempt of Congress. What about Hunter? What about the NBA, the Major League Baseball players who lied about doing steroids? What about Palmeiro and this and Canseco? Canseco told the truth. Remember Mark McGuire? Do we have to talk about this now? Yes, we got to talk about this now. Remember that? How about the tobacco executives at 94 or whatever, who said, no, I don't think nicotine is addictive. Well, why do you put so much in there? Well, I don't know. I don't know. Nicotine? Huh. I'll be damned. I don't know. Oh, please. Please. Now, next. How many of you don't give a rat's ass about Tom Brady? What is this business about his roast and how he told whatever the bald-headed Mr. Comic to get off he said, don't say anything about Kraft. Kim Kardashian, what is the story? What is the story about Tom Brady? What? Who cares? He is the most boring person. I absolutely do not care. Now, here's the best one. How about this baby reindeer? We're Mrs. Ellen and I are watching that. Baby reindeer's real life Martha claims she will sue Netflix over the obscene work of fiction. This is the greatest story in the world. If this woman is lying, she is. So, did you send 50 million texts? No. Did you text? No. Do you have an iPhone? No. And they said this is a true story versus based on a true story. Piers Morgan, who bores me to death. Piers Morgan, if there was a fire and we were in a room and we couldn't get out, and we said, we're going to burn to death in a fire, and Piers Morgan is in the room, and Piers says, I know how to get out of here. And let's assume he knew the only escape route, which wasn't readily available or apparent to us, I wouldn't listen to him. He bores me that much. He could give me the winning numbers of the lottery. He just bores me. Except his Bernard Giles interview, which was the great, and it wasn't really him, it was Bernard Giles, the best serial killer, not the best, pardon me, please strike that. One of my quote favorites, because he's so boring. And he did all 5 before he was 20, like in 8 months. He said, okay, I'm done. He like compacted 10 years into like 5 months. And he said, he's talking to this guy, Bernard Giles. And I remember watching it, his serial killer thing. And Piers just talked like this because Piers has a British accent. And Piers is not the brightest guy in the world at all. But he has a British accent. Not a Geordie, God bless Geordie's my favorite, but not, not a Cockney, hard to understand, but a tad received, not King's, a little posh, maybe, in any event. And he talked to this fellow named Bernard Giles. Yes, sir. Mr. Giles, did you kill your... Yes, sir. And have you talked to your family? No, sir. This is the one I like. Mr. Giles, when was the last time you ever cried? I saw the movie Braveheart. What? Braveheart made me cry. Braveheart made you cry. It was the weird. And just as I was about to say, this is not going anywhere. Way to go, Piers. Thanks for boring me again. Giles pulls this out of his arse and said, Miss Morgan, what's the most exciting thing you've ever done? What's the most excited you've ever been? When you kill I'm paraphrasing. When you kill somebody, you are so there. I could see the atoms vibrate. And I understood. I understood for years of having read, studied, listened, saying, I just want to know. I tell me what the urge is like. I heard one of the best definitions of somebody who has withdrawals, not withdrawals, of somebody who's dope sick but who's hooked on drugs. And somebody said, starvation. Starving. Got it. Certain things to say, I got it. I understand it. But this Ranger thing is just terrific. And tonight, Piers Morgan had on 50 million people. Tonight we have Mark Garagos on, Dr. Drew Pinsky, Elliot Randall, who played the lead guitar in Reeling in the Years, Emmanuel Lewis, TV's Webster, Rula Lenska, but he had like 6 people on, and they didn't get to Dr. Drew till like halfway through to say, what the hell are you doing? He had so many people on to basically say, I don't know. What do you think? Dr. Gary goes, do you think? I don't know. And Dr. Drew Pinsky, you're one of our favorite psychologists. Excuse me, not a psychologist. He's a physician. Anyway, what do you think? I don't know. Who the hell knows if this woman's telling the truth? But anyway, that's an interesting story. But Tom Brady? Who cares? No. Seriously. You're doing this only because people are telling you you should care about this. That's the only reason why. Okay? And you know what I care about too? I care about my man, who I tell you something, when I put my head on a my pillow, it's like the atoms vibrate. I can see them, but not from a serial killing point of view, but in terms of sheer and total luxuriation. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, mypillow.com, promo code Lionel. Do it right now, and you get a free gift. And whenever you want, you listen to any other radio station or any other TV show, and they say, use promo code. No. Promo code Lionel. Use their phone number. Use my code. My deals are better than theirs. You know why? This is why. It's time yet again, my friends, to hail and salute our great friends at mypillow.com. And if you use promo code Lionel, you'll get a free gift. No purchase necessary. And yes, I know, a free gift. It's a tautology, so sue me. But first, listen carefully. Check out their $25 extravaganzas. Premium My Pillows, Queen and King, My Pillow 2.0. My Pillow bed sheets, the lowest price ever. Sandals, slides, slippers, 6-piece towel sets, 4-pack dish towel sets. Simply and absolutely unbelievable. So go to mypillow.com/Lionel, mypillow.com, promo code Lionel, or call 800-645-4965 and watch how fast Mike Lindell answers the phone. mypillow.com, simply and absolutely the best. My friends, there's another great story. The bird flu is coming. The bird flu. They've got elephantine huevos to try this again after they put us through this COVID business. Seriously. By the way, this is my latest. This is my EMP. This is my new global coronal mass ejection video of how I love disasters. Watch this. It's a hoot. You think somebody would say, "Hey, look, guys, no, we can't do bird flu again." No, we can't. I'm still feel terrible what we did to these people after Corona. I can't do this. And you guys wanted to do that monkeypox bullshit. I still don't know what the hell monkeypox is. Remember that? Cowpox, monkeypox. What the hell? Wallypox? What is this? They say, oh, no, let's do it again. We'll do it right this time. Let's get the band together again. Let's get the band. These heartless bastards, and they say, we know just how to do it. We did the beta test last time. We're going to have a new Fauci. We'll get somebody new. Bobby Kennedy can't say anything. I say, Bobby, you again? What was the brain worm thing? What was he thinking? What is going on here? Is anybody serious about any of this stuff? Seriously? If they told you tomorrow, the CDC reports that there's something called Ichigawa's simplex. I just made that up. Sounds good. Would you believe anything they said? Would you believe this? Remember, here's how to wash hands. Here's a doctor from a hospital who tells you how to wash hands. Here's what you should put we're going to put our mail in the garage. Remember that? We're going to put our mail in the garage. Why? I don't know. You think that coronavirus can live on an envelope? By the way, ladies and gentlemen, Shane Crandall. Shane, welcome, my friend. Have a piece of carrot cake. Crumb cake's done. We got the carrot cake. Remember that? Hey, I bought this special key. I got it at CVS. I use it to push the elevator. It looks like a divot cleaner for golf, but I use it because I don't want to touch anything. And I got some hand wash. You have any hand wash? Got the hand wash? Yeah. I hope I'm not becoming bacteria resistant. One time, I knew it was over when they had hand wash that was on sale for like, you couldn't get rid of. Well, it's not 50%. It's whatever the percentage was. We lost our mind. You going through that again? You going through that again? Hey, can I get a little card? Can I go in there? Can I wear a mask? Can I wear 2 masks? Are you sure about that? Hey, I got my phone. Hey, I've got this funny application on here. On my iPhone, it says, if I've come into contact with somebody who's seropositive, wait a minute. You mean I'm walking around here and my iPhone is giving me up? You going to go through that again? You going to go through that again? Hey, we got these stickers on the ground and it says 6 feet. 6 feet, buddy. Hey, 6 feet. You want to kill me? Get your back. Hey, he's not wearing a mask. He's going to kill me. He's trying to kill me. You remember that one? Remember in the store? We're going down the aisle. Got to make sure we go one direction. Why? Because the COVID virus will not get on you if the person behind you is drafting, kind of like Richard Petty at Talladega. We lost our minds. Lost our minds. Hey, I remember my friend says, "Oh, doctor, yeah, I think I got COVID. You okay? Yeah, okay. I know about it. No. I want to come in for a test. Why? I just want to come in for a test. Can you breathe? Yeah." I said, "Don't worry about it. Just stay home." No. I want to test. Why do you want to test? I just want to test. I want the test. Remember the sticks? Remember the sticks in the nose? Wasn't that beautiful? Wasn't that beautiful? We were right around upstate, right around West Point. That was this weird. They pulled over, and then these guys in the hazmat suits with the sticks in your nose. And the best was Chinese. The Chinese said that anal swabs were the best. Remember that? Look it up. I'm not making it up. Google it. Anal swabs. And I told people all the time, I said, they got a new place where you drive in for the anal swab. It's a little tough. You got to drop trial and stick your ass out the window. But you know what? It's the most effective. It's the most effective. And listen, if they want to do that, who am I to argue with the CDC? You had an anal swab? Yeah, in my car. Yeah. And I can keep a straight face. Yeah, of course. That's about, you get your test right away, which is great too. Remember the tents they have? These people who are just showing up everybody's getting tested. And the ones who loved it and still love it, Asians. I don't know who they were. I call them Asian. Maybe they're not Asian. It was even before here in New York, before. And they said, well, it's because of the pollution in China. They're still wearing them. Wasn't that something? Wasn't that something? So they're going to do bird flu again? They're going to try this again? You going to believe this? You're going to believe this? One time they said, right now at this hospital in New York, at this Mount Sinai or whatever it was, they have trailers, like tractor trailers, but refrigerated trailers to handle all of the spillover from the dead bodies of the people strewn about dead. I said, oh my God. I told Mrs. L, honey, let's go up. It's right around the corner. There's no trucks. How big is there another Mount Sinai? No, it's. Then they said the Javid Center. The Javid Center. The ambulances were pulling up with all these people. The beds lined up, the beds waiting for this Spanish influenza 1918 hellscape. That ambulances. And we walk by. And behind Javits is West Side Highway. It's literally right there. There's a little sidewalk, and then there's West Side Highway. Well, that can't be it. Let's go around the front. There's no ambulances. There's no nothing. We have a friend of ours, a doctor. She and her husband Both doctors said, we're going to go and we're going to help. We're going to volunteer. There was nobody there. But the media said, no, there's dead people and they're going to bury them in Central Park. Remember that, honey? In Central Park. Central Park. They were going to bury people because there were so many of them. He said this with a straight face. You want to go through that again? Oh, my part of my soul died. I said, this is so great. Have I got a story? Thank you, God. Thank you. This is great. I've been through a lot, see? 9/11 in New York. I've seen stuff you can. And this one here? How about when the Hope? What was it, the Hope? What was that, the ship? Was it the Hope? No. What was that big white? The Hope. You know, the big ship. Yeah, whatever it was. And there was, yay, here it comes, steaming up the Hudson. Yay, the Hope or the, whatever the hell it's called. And we crossed, West Side Highway. I mean, you risk your life. Just like two sets of like 4 lanes. You're crossing that. I mean, it's like Frogger. You know what I mean? The Hope. Hang on. This is going to drive me nuts. New York hospital. Comfort. The Comfort. The Mercy was in California. Mercy. And we crossed the street. And we went, yay! And it pulled up. Saw some Marines running. They did their PT. Saw the Marines running up and down. Then we saw some Navy dudes up and down. And then we didn't even see an ambulance. I saw some, nothing. It's right there. And people are like, hey, yay. What are we yaying for? I don't know. They're here. Hey. You're going to need the ambulance to take care of the people who are going to be invariably killed as they cross the West Side Highway. But anyway, nothing. Complete, total, utter, absolute, total, orchestrated, media approved, government sponsored, wrapped, just propounded, promoted, broadcast, 18 karat bullshit. It was I'm thinking, I am learning so much. I never knew. I never, ever knew. And then we saw people driving cars. Still do. Maybe not so much now, but driving cars with a mask. Remember the welders, the plastic ones? It wasn't just the mask, but it was the plastic welders, like grinding to, like somebody who's welding. They have the plastic thing and the N95. But before that, they wore 2 double masks and this and gloves and a 10-foot pole. It was beautiful. And now you're going to try bird flu again? Are you kidding me? Everybody's coming clean. Even Fredo Cuomo said, that ivermectin. It's like, they told you. That would get you arrested, targeted, flattened, deprogrammed. You would be basically expurgated from anything. Ivermectin, isn't that dewormer or chlorine? Didn't Trump say drink chlorine bleach? No, he didn't. And now they're coming for I think it works. And Fredo Cuomo, that rat bastard, remember him? Hey, I'm down. I haven't even seen my family. I'm downstairs in my house in the Hamptons. Whoa. even though there's a cameraman, even though there's a lighting person. I haven't seen my family. I haven't been upstairs. I've been down here. Meanwhile, people in say, hey, isn't that Fredo Cuomo on his back? Get out of here. Aren't you supposed to be at home with the complete bullshit? As he lifted weights, remember that? Remember the weights behind his back? Remember that? 100 pounds. Tricep extensions behind his neck at a desk. Meanwhile, his brother, Andrew, the governor, grabbing every woman he can, absolute lech, the likes. I mean, just every night it was like, dear God. And Fauci. And Rand Paul would bring him in. And this one bring him in. And they'd beat the shit out of him. And they'd send him home. And he said, I love this. I'm making more money. Bring him back again. Dr. Fauci, bring him back. Remember that? I love it. And you think bird flu? Come on, man. Come on. Don't make me laugh. How about that Tom Brady, huh? Got a big one coming up. Not EMP. Coronal mass expulsion. A coronal mass emission. Some huge coronal mass. Oh, dear God. Can you just imagine this? The sun will be emitting solar flares, high radiation, raising the possibility of communications disruptions. But the northern lights could be seen across parts of the U.S. Friday evening. Oh, Santa Maria, the northern lights. Oh, we went apeshit over a little tremor in Lawrenceville, New Jersey or something. It's ridiculous. Sunspots. Did you hear about this? This new organization. Did you hear this group? The Space Weather Prediction Center from NOAA. A large sunspot cluster has been produced. Several moderate to strong solar flares. Coronal mass ejection. Have you ever had a coronal mass ejection after a bad Mexican meal? Geomagnetic storms that could harm satellites. Oh, dear Lord. It's wonderful. This is the greatest stuff. Scare people like crazy. Keep them moving. Why? So that you won't remember there's an election. So you'll be too busy with all this other stuff. Tom Brady, the reindeer lady, all this other stuff. Oh, this is so terrific. Carrington class events. Oh, baby, like you cannot imagine. This is so huge. This is so exciting. A Carrington class event. Do you remember when this happened? It was in the 19th century. Every single telegraph, everything was fried, all beyond recognition. It's the most incredible thing anybody's ever seen. It was. And of course, people who were saying this, we've been talking about this for years, and which also makes us realize a couple of things. One of them is that Iran, or one of those countries, we always got to blame Iran, just like that, and Hamas. But Iran or some other bad actor could detonate just a little bit over, within our orbit, kind of suborbital, some little nuclear device, no Hiroshima, no high yield of anything, just fries everything. Now listen to me. I want you to close your eyes and think about what I'm going to tell you. Think about. Okay? Now listen to me. I want you to say, and I will be there just to see this. if they said children, teens, Gen Zers, tweens, teens, fiends, skeens, whoever you are, there is no internet. What? There's no internet. You have your phone. You can call people, but 25% of Gen Zers have never answered their phone. Did you hear this? 25%. 25% of Gen Zers have never answered their phone. 25%. What would they do if they couldn't take their pictures and send them to anybody? What would they do? What would happen? Seriously, think about this. They couldn't LOL and text and nothing. What would they do? They don't read. They don't watch TV. They like silly games because they're basically children. What would they do? I want to be a part of that. Now, I myself would go crazy. But I'd like to be a part of the experiment just to see what these people do, because I want you to understand this. If I did not do this, I really should say that, but I'll say it. If I did not do this as a duty, as a business, because I've been doing this since 1988. I've been, doing conversational opinionating commercially, professionally since 1988. So, I mean, it's what I do. But as long as I can read what's going on, as long as I have some access to knowing, because I need to know what's going on, I'll find something to do. But I want you to think, what would you do if you had no phone? Can you go on a vacation without using your phone? I can't. Without reading the news? I can't. That's relaxation. I have to know what's going on. But I don't have to take pictures of my lunch. I don't have to take pictures of my food. I don't have to always do selfies. I don't have to do that. I don't care about that. In fact, if you took the camera off my phone, I'd kind of prefer it. Seriously. I take some pictures every now and then, but very rarely. That's not my thing. I don't take pictures. I really don't. But being able to read. What would your teenagers do if they had no? You're not listening to me, are you? What would your teenagers do? What? And I haven't said things like no ATMs or whatever it is. What would your teenagers do? What would happen? If all of a sudden there's no anything, no traffic lights, no air conditioning, no lights. We had a wonderful time. Wonderful time. One time in New York, we were coming back from Staten Island. My friend Big Bob was driving, and we were crossing 57th and 9th. And all of a sudden I said, hey, the street lights aren't. And it was a blackout. 2 days, 3 days. And it was really, I don't think it really wasn't. This was 90. What was that, honey? Like 95 or? Yeah. 90. No. It was before 9/11. Hang on a minute. Hang on. New York blackout. The most recent one was, it was 2003. 2003. Okay. And you know that during that time, it was actually interesting. They had people. I remember right around Hell's Kitchen, there were people who were actually neighbors. People would take, because there was no air conditioning, and you would take your chairs, whatever, out to the street. People were talking. I couldn't believe it. I swear to God. Huh? Oh, they'd be rampaging now. But anyway, well, same thing happened in 65. It was a blackout then. It was horrible. But the point is, don't think that people aren't looking to choreograph and to beta test catastrophes. And I'm telling you right now, when it comes to EMPs and the like, you know and I know, and we've been saying this forever, that they are going to weaponize weather. You know and I know that they are going to weaponize weather, and they are going to be able to use it and be able to turn it, and they'll be able to take directed energy weapons, your favorite, Tesla wave stuff, find tectonic parts of the world, of the Earth's crust, blast it out in the Pacific, trigger earthquakes, and watch tsunamis. And if you think I'm exaggerating, if you think I'm just waxing conspiratorial, you have no idea what's in store. It's that simple. That simple, my friends. That simple. Now, a couple of things here. First and foremost, you groovy kids have been asking, and I've been doing this more and more, telling you a couple of things here. First and foremost, I want to tell you a couple of things here. If you ever plan to motor west, take the highway, that's the byway, that's the best. Get your kicks on Route 66. Let me see. There's where is this here? On here. I'll figure it out. I had a wonderful. Oh, here we go. You have asked me before, where do I get the merch? Where is this? Well, I tell people, it's in the comment section. Nobody looks there. Here is the link to the merch. Hats, mugs, this mug, this thing, this is my favorite. It's empty now with my coffee, but doesn't that look nasty? If you didn't know what that was, it looks like tobacco juice, doesn't it? Nasty. Anyway, or transmission fluid. You can grow koi in here. This is the link right there. The official merch store. Hats. Just look at it. Everything you can imagine. Merkins, Iron Maidens, Benoit balls, everything with the official logo on it. That's that. You didn't know that, did you? Of course not. Because you were too busy being selfish. That's what you were. You were too busy being selfish. Now, another one too is, let's see, which is also important. I want you to go and I want you to be a part immediately of Mrs. L's YouTube channel. It is superb. And she's got some great stuff about Andrew Tate. She's got legislation nobody tells you about. You don't know anything about this. Nothing. And here it is right now. This is it. Go to Lynn's Warriors right there. And if you click that link, you go right to the sign up area. Okay. You got that? Okay. Now, Shane Crandall, thank you. Johnny Maz, thank you. And thank you so much for being a part of this. I mean it. I thank you immensely for everything you do to make this so much fun. So we've had a lot to talk about this evening, my friend. Got the weekend coming. Hope everybody's doing great. There was a terrible statistic. What was it? 50? The numbers of colon cancer in teenagers. Teenagers. Did you see this one? Do they have any idea what that's from? It is a teenage. This is the strangest thing ever. As you know, dear friends, years ago, the idea of children. Here we go. Why have colorectal cancers jumped by by 500% in kids. 500%. This is the strangest thing in the world. Because most of the time, nobody ever have a colonoscopy until you were 50. You know what I'm finding out? Number one, cancer deaths. Number one in men in their 50s is colorectal cancer. Number two for women. Oh, men under 50, excuse me. And women under 50, number two, of cancers. Number one cause of death in the country is, of course, heart attack. Huh? Kids 10 years old. This is bizarre. Right here, as a matter of fact. I'll give you the link so you can see it for yourself. Unbelievable. What the hell is that about? Here's one for you. Shift is over the past 20 years. I think it has to do with diet. That's me. I would have to guess. How many people do you know in their 60s who've never had a colonoscopy? Have you heard that one? Have you ever heard that one? Microplastics. There you go. You didn't know this. You didn't know this, did you? This is the scariest things ever. Blood clots. Wow. This is weird, my friends. This is weird. There's something very, very wrong here. And remember, when we try to bring this to people's attention, what do they call us? Conspiracy theorists. That's right. All of those people who were correct regarding ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine, all of them. Was there an apology? Nope. It's every man for himself, my friends. Every man for himself. But I still think, I know people in their 60s, they've never had a colonoscopy. Never. Never. The greatest thing in the world, I don't care what anybody says, you talk about, well, you know, there's a hadron collider. No, the fact that they can take a camera, stick it up your ass, and you live, and they can look for cancerous polyps, lasso them, pull them off, and look at them right up there and say, yep, that looks weird. That is one of the greatest things of all time. And to think that there are people who have insurance, but for reasons I just don't know. I don't know. I think I can't believe it. I can't believe it. One time, years ago, I've always done this. Nobody really pays attention to me, which is a problem. I said, you know, I believe in men should involve themselves in prostate self-exams. Now think about that. Nobody ever questioned me. How do you do that? Stand on a chair. Oh, okay. So anyway, dear friends, isn't that something? Isn't that something? All right, my friends. Listen, you have a great and a glorious day. Thank you so much. Please follow Mrs. L. Make sure, remember, make sure you listen. Make sure you are subscribed. I can't say it. Lionel Nation. Say it. Lionel Nation. Subscribe. Lionel Nation. Be and stay subscribed. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, and I mean that sincerely. Speaking of colonoscopies, one of the funniest things you can do ever. When you meet your friend, hi, how are you? Just fine. You know, when the doctor comes in, are you allergic to anything? Not really. And when was the last time you ate? Oh, well, I fasted for it. And it's sheer hilarity. And they're saying, you know, you really shouldn't be making a noise. I know. Why do you think I'm having the test? It's a pain. It's terrible. Can't be an astronaut. Can't scuba dive. Think about it. Intimacy? Forget it. Long distance driving's in a Yugo? No way. All right, my friends. You have a great... Oh, Joseph Pujol. Le Fartiste. Le Fartiste. The great one. The great Lepedomane. All right, dear friends. Have a great and a glorious night. Benny, Gorgonzola, Digit Zoos, Jody, JJ, Citizen Ken, Hillbilly, you maniac. Nightingale's in the room. Jimmy Brown and his band of renown. Faye Dalton, Bobby Johnson. Let me see. Diane's there. JJ, Stasia Howell. the whole group. All right, dear friends, have a great and glorious night. See you tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock in the morning sharp. And don't forget, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Da, da.